Charlie knows Mickey's approach before a tree even shivers. That familiar rasp, his right boot dragging through the loamy dirt, echoes like a heartbeat in the thick, suffocating air. Every leaf drips with sweat. Every breath tastes like rot. Charlie perches on an overturned crate outside the tent, cradling his rifle like a scared child. The cold steel is slick in his hands. Mosquitoes swarm at his neck, their tiny buzz a promise of fresh blood. Somewhere deeper in camp, a laugh erupts, too loud, too forced, bouncing off canvas walls that tremble in the humidity. Mickey drops beside him, 2 battered tin cups in hand. Steam coils upward. Drink it before it congeals into swamp sludge. Charlie lifts the cup. The coffee is paper thin, bitter as bile, but it's molten. He gulps it down. Mickey eyes him over the rim, lips twisting into a grin that carries equal parts fatigue and defiance. First thing I'm doing when we're stateside, carving into a steak as big as my ego. Charlie snorts. You say that every damn day. Because I wake up in Vietnam every damn day. Mickey wipes his mouth with a fist, leans back, gaze locked on the jungle's edge. A wall of vines and shadows so dense it might swallow a man whole. Charlie follows his stare. Ever miss home so hard you wonder if it ever existed? Mickey's grin flickers. All the time. I imagine opening that front door, Mom frying bacon, Dad hollering at the game, Tina at the table, her polish stinking up the joint. Charlie curls his lips around the rim of his cup. My brother used to slip into my room at night, nick my cash, then help me hunt for it. That's family, Mickey says. That's theft. That's love with lousy manners. They laugh, short, brittle bursts that crack the jungle's grip. For a heartbeat, they're just kids in bad heat, trading barbs like the world still makes sense. Mickey bumps Charlie's shoulder. After we get home, we're taking the real R&R. No fatigues, no orders. Cold beer, warm beds, girls who don't look at us like ghosts. You've got it all mapped out. Charlie shifts the rifle in his lap, the rag smeared black with oil and grime. He stares at that stain spreading across the cloth. Yeah. Night settles, suffocating. The platoon snakes through the jungle. Boots sink ankle deep, leaves scrape Charlie's arms. Sweat coalesces into rivulets down his spine under the pack's relentless weight. The moon vanishes behind clouds. The world shrinks to the man in front of him. The click of gear, the dank smell of mud, rot, and old fire. Mickey is 3 men ahead. Charlie watches the hitch in his step, the lazy drag of that right boot. Charlie's fingers twitch on the rifle. A shape flickers in the underbrush. He pivots. A flare of gunfire rips the dark open. The jungle convulses. Charlie hits the ground, cheeks splattering in cold mud. Dirt cakes his eyes. A scream rips free as shots hammer through saplings. Muzzle flashes shudder the night into jagged frames. Smoke, shattered bark, terrified faces, white-hot bursts. He fires back on instinct. The rifle buckles against his shoulder. 1 pull, 2, 3. He screams Mickey's name like a lifeline. Mickey! Charlie writhes, claws at the soil, heart pounding so loud he's sure the world can hear it. His eyes lock with a soldier's across the smoke, a beat of pure animal recognition. Then his weapon roars and the soldier goes down, but the victory is ash in his mouth. He turns. Mickey staggers. A brutal impact lifts him slightly off his feet, and then a second volley catches him in the chest. He doesn't just fall, he folds, crumpling into the mud with a final wet thud. Charlie tears free, crawls through the slick sludge. His knees sink. Mud seeps between his fingers. He reaches Mickey, flips him over. Mickey's eyes are glassy, vacant. Blood seeps from a crater in his chest, black and gleaming. Charlie slams both hands on the wound, presses desperately. No, you're not. Mickey's gaze drifts past him, mouth slack as if the punchline slipped his mind forever. Charlie leans so close he tastes the copper on Mickey's breath, the sour tang of sweat and jungle decay. Come on, come on. Nothing. Other men sweep past, counting bodies in the brush. When Charlie dares to look up, a Viet Cong soldier lies half-turned toward him. Young, too young, cheeks hollow, eyes empty, a bullet hole punched through his throat. His rifle lies at arm's length. Charlie stares, memorizing that dead face, carving it into his memory. Days later, a camera clicks. A reporter, sterile and curious, drapes Charlie in questions under a sun so bright it bleaches out the world. "What will you do when you get home?" the reporter asks. Charlie hears Mickey's grin before his own voice. "Get some R&R. The reporter waits for more. Charlie's jaw clenches. His eyes drift past the lens to the tree line, where shadows press in. Something inside him has gone quiet. Home arrives like a ghost. The living room is dim, except for the TV's pale flicker. Charlie sits in a sagging chair, a gray shirt riddled with moth holes, one at the shoulder, two by his gut. The collar is loose, as empty as he feels. The TV drones, laughs, splashes color in faces he can't reach. He leans forward, elbows on knees, hands dangling like broken levers. His skin is pulled taut over bone. The air tastes stale. Curtains are drawn. An ashtray overflows. A plate of rock-hard crust sits untouched. On screen, a suited man beams at a crowd. Charlie stares through him, then at the dark window beside the set. For a breath, he sees the glass catch the room's reflection. And behind it, the jungle. Dripping leaves, gnarled trunks, a boy bleeding into mud. Charlie remains motionless. The television drones on. He sits in its cold flicker, hollowed out, watching nothing at all. This is the prequel to Vietnam. If you are curious what happens to Charlie, watch this video and subscribe to Kevin Frazier Horror Writer on Substack.